So the project is about rape and institutional failure, but it's also a meta reflection on how photography is being depicting womanhood and victimhood, and how we can often forget to look at who are the actual perpetrators or the main characters in the problematic.
Sie analysiert so die historischen Ursprünge von frauenfeindlichen Rollenbildern, Verhaltensmustern und zeichnet nach, wie die angefangen bei Traditionen und Ritualen und Bräuchen eben bis in die heutige Zeit nachwirken und auch heute noch normalisiert sind und akzeptiert. Und sie macht deutlich, wie wichtig es ist, sich damit auseinanderzusetzen. Sie macht die Dinge sichtbar und damit auch diskutierbar.
So Rape is the second chapter of a long-term project called A History of Misogyny. And it was during my research, searching for the second subject, first was abortion, that it was the peak of the Me Too movement and also the case of Harvey Weinstein. But especially in Spain, there was a very important case called the Wolfpack, in which 5 men gang raped this woman, very young woman, during some festivities. And the sentence of that very long and complex trial was that there was not a rape, even if there were footage made by the perpetrators. So that sparked a massive protest in Spain during weeks, which was the first time that something like that happened. And I started to reflect on how the institutions are failing us. And when you go back to the origins of the rape culture, to understand how much is all integrated in the system. And the system is indeed not broken, it's working perfectly, but it's working perfectly to fail.
Laia Abrils Ansatz wird auch künstlerische Forschung genannt oder recherchebasierte Praxis. Und zwar recherchiert sie sehr, sehr umfangreich über viele Jahre ihre Themen und trägt verschiedene Erzählungen, Fallbeispiele, Gerichtsurteile zusammen und nutzt diese Objekte und Erzählungen, die sie gefunden hat, und setzt sie in Beziehung zu ihren eigenen inszenierten Fotografien. Also das Zusammenspiel von Text und Bild ist wahnsinnig wichtig in ihren Arbeiten.
So one of the installations in the show is this piece, no, with all the dresses. They represent these different institutions, but they also represent the victims, and you have the testimonies on top. The dresses are in real size, and it's a rounded room. And my idea is that you, because you're facing them in real size, it's almost feeling like they are there with you. And it's this idea of, again, of accountability, like we are part of the problem. We, with our relationships, with who we vote, with the things we say, how we raise our children, and so on. So the idea of the exhibition is reflecting on all these stereotypes and myths which are integrated in our society. We are all racist, misogynistic, and so on and on. For at least 3-4 years, my Google alert was rape. And that would be what I look at it every morning, like the first thing I see every morning. And then I would spend hours and hours talking and researching about this subject. Like the first chapter was about the repercussions of not having access to abortion, or I work about grief and eating disorders and mental health issues. Like I am used to these kind of topics, but it is true that on rape was most likely the hardest project. I think also it was a tough moment also during pandemic or pre-pandemic and then pandemic. And it's very strange, but the thing that drained me the most, or the thing that made me more upset or more frustrated, were the statistics. It's numbers, no? There was the amount of cases, it's so crazily immense that first of all, you don't really get your head around the idea because it's already very complex, but also it crashes with your hope. The exhibition also allows you to, with the research, allows you to reflect on the origin of these myths and these stereotypes. And I have a feeling that once it's not an abstract thing and you know where is it coming from and what are the consequences of it, it's easier to localize, like to find, okay, this comes from here. Sometimes I have said this thing. Sometimes I have judged that person. So you can be more mindful and more aware of these things. So yeah, maybe a little bit ambitious, but that's the aim of the show.
Also in der Ausstellung selbst sind ja keine expliziten Darstellungen von Gewalt zu sehen. Es sind eher die Geschichten, die man liest und die ja, Fallbeispiele, Erzählungen, mit der man sich auseinandersetzt, die sehr nahe gehen, die einen berühren und zum Denken anregen. Und dafür ist die Ausstellung da, oder das ist es, was ich mir auch wünschen würde, was diese Ausstellung auslöst, dass wir alle als Gesellschaft, die ja kollektiv auch irgendwie dafür verantwortlich sind, wie solche Straftaten geahndet werden, ob sie normalisiert werden oder ob sie eben verurteilt werden, dass da eine Auseinandersetzung angeregt wird und die Ausstellung eben wirklich dieses Thema sichtbar und dadurch auch diskutierbar macht.